Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review on Married to Medicine. Now, listen, girl, listen. I don't know. I don't know who got monkey stoned in next week's episode, but, Audra, it looked like you, girl, wrote a check that you couldn't cash because it looked like you got popped. Now, we don't know because it could definitely be the editing, right? So we'll just have to see who actually got popped, if somebody got popped, how hard it looked like they got popped. Um, but yeah, girl, the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. Girl, Toy, this your second time fighting on TV. But you know what? As much mess as I talk about Toya, well, I think that everybody, I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody. I think that Toya has some blame in this episode. I think Audra has some blame in this episode. I think Anila has some blame. Like, the girls had blame in this episode, right? It just wasn't on one specific person. But I have to be honest and say that, girl, the girls were looking for a moment with Toya. I really do believe that. I be on Toya tail. Um, It's not that I dislike Toya. I have no issue with really anybody on the cast. Toya was always, you know what it was with Toya? Toya was always a cast member I could take a leave. Like, okay, girl, she there, she not, she not. That's how I low-key kind of feel about Quad now. Like, if Quad is there, she there, she not, she not. Um, that's how I kind of feel like Karen. If Karen there, she not, she not. It is what it is. If Robin is there, she not. Girl, well, this year, girl, Robin, girl, look like she pulling stunts and shows. So I might be here for Robin. Okay, Robin said, not with my money. Okay. But yeah, Toya is cool, but Toya, I've never been invested in Toya like that. Like, Toya was never one of my faves. My faves have always been Dr. Simone, then Dr. Heavenly, and then it used to be Quad. But like Quad now, I'm just like, girl, why is Quad even on the show? Quad is just kept. I think Quad is on the show now just because of seniority. Kind of like, girl, she's been here since she's an OG. So it's kind of like, girl, we season now. Why we need to get rid of Quad? All right, so let's get into it, and we're gonna talk about it. So Dr. Simone and Cecil are hosting another dinner. I want to say something because I was being shady in my Love and Marriage Huntsville review. I was like talking about like the women being smarter than the men, and I was like, Dr. Simone smarter than Cecil. Like, I didn't mean to say it that way. The way I said it, I could see how some of you may take it as though I was saying like Cecil was just like a dumb man. No. I didn't. I was just like kind of like being flipped by the mouth, and that just came out. I think that Dr. Simone is still smarter than Cecil, yes, but girl, the way it came across, I could see how somebody could probably think I said it like Cecil, just like some dumb idiot. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so Dr. Cecil, girl, 3 minutes in, I still ain't started the review. Dr. Simone and Cecil are having a dinner. They invite Audra, Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin is girl. Dr. Martin is so handsome. Girl. Even though he reminds me of a horny teenager, girl, if you make a joke about sex one more time, girl, I'm going to turn off the TV. We get it. You and Audra probably having sex like teenagers. We get it, girl. Dr. Martin, Audra, Toya, Dr. Eugene, and Quad go over to Dr. Simone's and Cecil's home for dinner. Girl, Toya started with Audra. She did. She makes a comment, basically, where y'all coming from with jeans and sneakers on. Now, I really don't see a difference. Quad is just kept. Quad, Audra, and Dr. Martin could have all been coming from the same place, because you acting like Quad sitting up here with some ball gown on. Quad had on a spaghetti strap shirt, a jacket that said good vibes only. Girl, she threw a fedora on, threw some jeans on, and threw some boots that came up to her knees. And I don't even know if the boots had a heel on them. So Quad is just kept, girl. They all 3 of them was on the same page, girl. We just going over to Simone's house. Girl. So it's like, okay, girl, you're Toya, you're low key already starting, right? Audra makes it. I forgot how they brought it up, but Audra said she was born in 1990. Even I was like, 1990, girl, you a baby, girl. Like when you hear 1990, it seems like the person is really really young, even though girl, technically, like Audra, what 32, 33, 32. Girl, I'm not good at math. I'm good at counting money. Okay. Um, 32. That's very much well a grown woman, right? But it just sounds very, very childish. I was born in 1990. 1990. Um, they start having conversation, Dr. Simone and Cecil, they want information for their new book. One thing I did appreciate, even though I know a lot of people, I don't like the fact that some people, like, okay, girl, I get it. Y'all don't want advice from single people because y'all feel like we don't know nothing, we not married. Okay, girl. But I do think it, even though I don't think that's true, because I think that single people can bring a new perspective. Because one thing I have noticed amongst married people, y'all make excuses for staying in a marriage instead of telling the reason. Instead of telling somebody to get out of a toxic marriage, y'all tell somebody reasons why they should stay in a marriage. Okay, and the straight people looking at y'all like. Right, but anyways, so we passed that. So I don't like how I have seen people try to. It's one thing for you not want to want single people, and technically quad is single, but it's one thing if you don't want advice from someone who's never been married, but to try to exclude someone who's divorced out of the conversation like they haven't been through the experience, I think it's just absolutely crazy. So I love and respect the fact that Cecil Simone invited Quad. Cecil gave Quad and hyped her up. Speak Quad, talk Quad, talk Quad. Like he gave her a chance to speak. Just because Quad is now a single woman does not mean that she cannot give advice as it pertains to marriage. I mean, girl, anybody can give advice, but girl, she also was married once upon a time. Like it's weird to me how like people out there will want to shut up the person who's divorced, but girl, you do want advice from Dr. Jackie and Curtis because they've been married the longest. Even though Curtis cheated on Dr. Jackie and was trolloping some whore all up and through Atlanta airport, them the people you want advice from because of the quantity of their marriage, not the quality, the quantity, right? Y'all want advice from what's the couple name off of Love and Marriage DC? I forgot her name. Arena and Jamie because they've been married the longest. But quiet as this kept, girl, from what I could see, the marriage is a hot ass mess. But they have quantity, right? They got the number. They got 26 years of marriage under their belt. So let's get advice from them, even though, girl, the marriage is a mess. Let's move on. So Audra brings up the problems that she's having with Toya, right? You've called me a bad lawyer. You talked about my champion outfit. We're going to have to call a thing, right? Because I saw people online trying to defend Toya in this moment, and I don't think you can defend Toya. I don't recall a time, and I could be wrong. Sometimes I am. Not often, but sometimes I am. No, but for real, I don't recall a time when they were in Las Vegas where Audra just had on, a jogging outfit and everybody else was dressed to the nines. You see what I'm saying? Like Audra had what she had on, but I'm almost sure that she fit in with what everybody else had on. Like I don't remember Audra having on that jogging outfit and everybody else had on heels and blouses and skirts and slacks. Like I don't remember that. You do have a problem with it being champion because that's what popped out of your mouth. Toya literally said basically you come out with basically this champion outfit on, which makes me believe that your issue is one, you say that I guess she wasn't dressed up to standards, even though again I don't recall a time her being around the group and everybody else was dressed up and she had that on. And then two, it was champion. If it was Gucci, Toya would not have an issue with whatever Audra had on. If it was Valentino, Versace, Chanel, Dior, she wouldn't have had a problem with what Audra had on. She had an issue because it was Champion. And I think anybody who was listening to Toya talk, you would realize that that was the problem with Toya. You're looking like this and we're looking like this. But girl, y'all wasn't looking like this. Girl, you have a problem. This is the thing, Toya. You're the easiest read. I hate to say it. Dr. Eugene and Toya, especially with their finances, you're the easiest read out of the entire group. You can talk about Audra having on Champion, but girl, you're the last person that should be mentioned anything that has to do with money. Anything that has to do with anything that costs money, you're the last person to talk. The last person. You over here talking about her Champion outfit, but the reason why you in the situation you in is because you probably wearing Chanel earrings. The reason why y'all owed that $170,000 in back taxes is because, girl, you wasn't being responsible with your money. The reason why you on your 5th house and 9 seasons is what? The reason why you got 7 liens is what? You see what I'm saying? So, Toya, you're the last person to talk about anybody's financial situation or how they dress, because quiet as it's kept, maybe if your ass was wearing a Champion outfit, you wouldn't be in a situation that you and Dr. Eugene are in. Toya was getting with Audra. Here go Audra. I don't have to explain myself to you. Toya said, but you are. I said, oh. I mean, but you are though. Okay. They start having a conversation about alpha women, alpha men, girl, whatever. I love the fact that Dr. Eugene basically said that I'm not in charge of Toya, and Toya's not in charge of me. I really, you know who I wished was at that house when this conversation came up, and you got Dr. Eugene sitting there basically saying that basically I'm not in charge of Toya. I wish that Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Daddy Damon was there. Because you know Dr. Heavenly would have been on some, this is my man and he's smarter than me and he knows the world and it is my job to follow behind him and I am not an alpha woman and this is the alpha male and I follow his lead and he does, girl, you know Heavenly would have been real on some real. So I would have loved to see her response and what she had to say, especially with this conversation that was going on. Dr. Eugene apologizes to Toya. I have 2 different things I want to say about this, okay? Dr. Eugene apologizes to Toya and basically says that he was not a good team player last year. A part of me wants to say this. Well, part of me is going to say this, okay? So I'm looking at it from 2 different sides, okay? On one side of the coin, it's like last year was probably, I don't know anything about Toya and Eugene, but last year was probably one of the roughest times in Eugene's career. Eugene probably saw all types of stuff in that emergency room. Probably saw all types of people dying every day. So I could understand with what was probably going on at his job, not to make an excuse for Eugene if he was treating his wife poorly, if he was treating his family poorly, but I could understand if you were going through the stuff that Eugene was probably going through in that emergency room. You have to remember Eugene was at the reunion crying, okay? So when you take into account the stuff that he was going through, child, it's kind of like, girl, I could see how you could kind of probably lose it, probably start snapping at your wife, snapping at your kids because, baby, you're going through it. You know what I'm saying? That's not an excuse to be mean to your wife or to be mean to your children, but I think that people could probably understand what the shit that Eugene was probably going through, the nigga was probably going through it, right? Then on the other side, it's like, girl, just because you're going through stuff don't mean that it gives you a right to treat people like shit. Like I said about Marlo. I can understand what you're going through and why you're probably acting the way that you act, but that still does not give you a license to treat people like shit. However, it also gives people an understanding of why you're probably acting the way that you act. So it's kind of like I appreciate the fact that Eugene acknowledges that he probably was not in a good place. He probably was not the best partner, a good team player. But also, I think we have to acknowledge that with him not being a good team player, whatever, husband, whatever, father, whatever, that he was probably going through a lot too, especially at that goddamn job. Now, some people will argue that Toya probably added on to that. I'm gonna shut up and leave it alone. Okay. Again, Quad gives her input about basically not creating a pissing contest. I like the fact that they let Quad speak. Quad is having a party. Anila's mama. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I don't want to say it because, girl, Anila's mama is not likable. She's just not. She's not likable. She's not funny. At least with Mama Joyce and the other mamas on the other TVs, they might be overbearing. They might, be out of line sometimes, but at least like Mama Joyce gave us one-liners. At least Mama Joyce have us laughing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anila mama just come across, I'm going to leave it alone. Anila can't even cook instant cocoa. It's instant cocoa. Girl, if you don't put a cup of water in that microwave, heat it up, throw that bag inside that cocoa and stir it up and give it to them children. If you don't boil some water, girl, Anila, boil the water, put the water in the coffee cup, open up the package of cocoa, pour the cocoa inside of the goddamn cup, stir it up and throw some marshmallows on top and give it to them children. I said, goddamn, Anila, you can't do shit. You can't even make instant cocoa. It's instant. Girl. Anyways, child, Quad's party is really, really nice. Let me say something, baby. Quad house. I don't think Quad house was fully decorated for that party. If you go, Quad was on something on, I think, Bravo, their website. It was something I saw somewhere online. Quad gave a tour of her house. Quad house is nice. Quad has a very nice house. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, Miss Thing. Okay. Anila brings everybody in her family to the party. Girl, she brings her neighbor. Her neighbor is absolutely gorgeous. Heavenly had already clocked it, girl. They here to start some shit. Heavenly wasn't lying. Okay. When Carrie walked in, whatever her name is, a white lady who I don't know why she on the show because she don't say nothing. When she walked in, I thought she was about to hand that man her jacket. Now, maybe that's why he was at the door. But I don't know, girl. Sometimes certain stuff, sometimes I could be reaching. Like, I'm going to say something later on in the episode, Anila, about your ass and how you are. Anila? Anila? Girl. Sometimes I'm a little sensitive to when other people pull stunts in shows. Like, girl, I'm sure that if Dr. Jackie would have walked in and handed that man her jacket, I probably wouldn't have said nothing. But because I thought that Carrie, based off that little clip I saw on TV, looked like she was about to hand that man her jacket, I had a problem with it. Even though he probably was at the door taking people's jacket. But I see this white bitch about to hand this old black man her jacket, and I ain't like it. So somebody got to explain to me, why was that man at the door? Was he greeting the people and taking jackets or just greeting the people? Because somebody been explain to me. Because that white woman, don't do no shit like that no more, Carrie. She gets, Toya gets Quad like a care package, a gift. It has a Snuggie. She got a t-shirt that had Diva, Divorce, Intelligent, Vivacious, and Awesome. I think that's what she had the letters broken down into. She also says that basically, Toya, it came across as you was low-key hating just a little bit when you was like, when she in that big house by herself. Now, granted, we done talked about Quad being in that big ass house. Why Quad got all of the house, we'll never know. I mean, she said her mom and her nephew live with her now. Okay, girl, but girl, it just sound a little hateration coming from Toya, who on her fifth house and now 9 seasons. Well, we gonna let it go. But just like Quad said, girl, I'm everything that Toya wants to be. When she said that, I hollered. Because on a t-shirt it had divorce, intelligent, vivacious, and awesome. I said, so Toya because of Quad trying to say, Toya low-key want to be divorced, okay? A lot of y'all really do, but y'all just stay in these fucked up marriages. Let me shut up. Toya and Anila. Toya tells Anila she looks like an ice skater. I'm not gonna lie, I hollered because when she said it, I never thought about it. But when she said it, I said she do look like an ice skater. Can I say something? Girl, while yes, like we all think that we Joan Rivers, we all think that we girl Miranda Priestley, we all think that we girl Andre Leon Talley, we all think that girl we Anna Wintour, right? We all think that we can give critiques on the girls and their fashions. But girl, I would not. This is how I know that Anila was low key wanting to just have some shit with Toya. Girl, you were not that butt hurt that Toya said you look like a figure skater. Because if you did, you should. I think that's the problem that I'll be having with some of these girls, like Audra. If you had an issue with Toya talking about you being a lawyer, you should have addressed it at that moment in Jackie's room. Girl, not wait till the end of the night. Because it sounded like somebody came to you and said, girl, you need to bring this back up, right? Like, Anila, if you had a problem with Toya calling you a figure skater, you should have said, bitch, you can't even dress your damn self, so you shut up. Something. But you wait later on and act like you got a problem with it. And then on top of that, girl, why are you mad? Because girl, no tea, no shade. Out of everybody on the show, Toya and probably Heavenly and Simone are in the same boat when it comes to fashion. Well, Simone done stepped up her game this season. I would not... Girl, I wouldn't care what Toya critiquing me in my fashion. And you think I'm gonna care what Toya got to say? Maybe if it was Kenya, maybe if it was Marlo, you see what I'm saying? Maybe if it was Doreen, maybe if it was one of the girls who they can kind of give advice, who probably said I looked a mess, then I would probably take that into account. But I'm not worried about no goddamn Toya. Girl, what? So anyways, so Heavenly tells Dr. Jackie that basically the girl that Anila brought, I think Heavenly said that Quad and Anila were on the phone talking about the rumor that Toya was screwing some man in the neighborhood. I mean, girl, all I'm going to say is this, and this is for anybody. With the mess that was happening in the, I can't even say the word. Y'all know what was happening when the world got shut down. With all that mess going on, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I could see Toya cheating on Eugene. I don't know if she has, but I could see it because it's, girl, I just listen to the shit she said about Eugene. She done talked about pretty much him having a small dick. She done pretty much said he can't fuck. Girl, he always at work, even though he's trying to take care of his family. I feel like that's a recipe for a cheatation. Toya always talking about how she pretty much got to handle herself in the shower. So it's kind of like, girl, I could kind of see it. Girl. So Quad gets up and she gives a speech. Who talk more? I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Y'all better not answer it either, bitch. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. You better answer it to yourself. Who talk more, me, Doreen, or Quad? I think that Quad talk more, and Doreen. I think Quad got all of us because at least when I run my goddamn mouth, I feel like I'm entertaining, and I feel like it might take me a while to land the plane, but I eventually do. But Quad just be talking just to hype herself up. Bitch, I be talking about bitches. I throw myself in her sometimes, but Quad be talking. The simple fact that Quad was standing over her balcony looking down at the peasants below. But I tell you, bitch, I said, Quad really got her ass on her balcony, girl, while everybody else is down on the ground. She looking over them. But I tell you, I was cracking up at Dr. Scott when he was like, she really could be a villain in a movie, right? When Dr. Eugene, what somebody said, so Quad basically was talking about, I guess, her going through a marriage, being divorced. I guess people saying that she wasn't gonna make it. And this is her way of showing the world I made it. Girl, when somebody said, what's the message again? I heard somebody in the background say, I don't know. But I tell you, Toya had me cracking up. Eugene had me cracking up. Toya was like, girl, just say Jingle Bell, motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. Toya, I could always take a leave Toya, but Toya did kind of like, I was like, okay, Toya actually okay. Like, Toya all right. She all right. She good, right? And then plus, I have a problem. I have noticed I do this a lot too. When I see that people, when I feel like I see that people are being mistreated, I tend to start kind of like liking them. Like, I feel like Toya was low-key kind of not being bullied, but I do felt like even though Toya was a little messy herself in this episode, I felt like it was a mission. Like, the mission was to basically let's get on Toya, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So Dr. Damon, Dr. Scott, Dr. Karen. I see this is the type of stuff I want to see with the guys on the show. Like Dr. Damon dancing and Dr. Scott dancing in the corner. I think Dr. Karen basically was like, I don't know nothing about that dance and I had a calculator. Okay. Like, that's what I want to see from the guys on the show. Like, them just be funny and just have a good time. But every time they're like together, it's always so what's going on with you? Right, so the ladies, we let the ladies deal with the drama. We don't do the drama. Instead of just like having fun. Like, I thought it was so cute. Again, when Dr. Scott and Dr. Damon and Dr. Karen were in that corner just like dancing and having fun. Anyways, oh, when Audra said, I'm not gonna lie, I did holler at this too. When Audra said that Toya is the girl in the movie that basically looks at you over her glasses. You know how like when people have their sunglasses on and they looking at you like this? See, that's how Toya is. So they all sitting around. Quad started talking. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't know how I feel about. That's who it is. I don't know how I feel about Audra. I want to like Audra so bad. I really, really do. I think that she's a cool chick. I think that I don't know. I'm not gonna say she's a cool chick. I think that Audra is gorgeous. I was hoping that she would be a cool chick, but I feel like Audra is taking the easy route. Like, go after Toya. And it's so lame and whack to me. Yes, there have been times where Toya has not been innocent, right? Like, girl, you see this girl walk into the house and the first thing you really do is throw shade at her and her husband. Girl, y'all got on jeans and tennis shoes. So I'm not saying Toya is innocent, but it's like, I just want the beefs to make sense. Like, Audra, you hopping up out the blue, clocking Toya and this $1 million that she supposedly made from the selling of her house. Girl, I think it could have been an iconic moment, girl, if you and Toya actually were beefing in that moment. But because you pretty much were sitting down with your phone in your hand, calculator ready, and you just popped out of nowhere, it just didn't make sense. And so I really couldn't get into you getting Toya together because, again, it didn't make sense. Girl, where is this coming from? You should have been reading Toya a long time ago, if that's okay. You see what I'm saying? So then, even after Audra says what she says, and she talks about the, I'm not gonna lie, bitch. Audra was airing Toya ass. When I said she was airing Toya's business out, honey, she basically said Toya didn't make no money out that house because after you pay for those 7 liens, you ain't have no money. And all Toya could respond was the fact you look up people's shit is what she say is scary. Girl, that's your response? Okay, so basically Audra telling the truth. But girl, it didn't land for me. Because again, you looking for a moment. You looking for an argument with Toya. And Toya look like she gonna give you what you asking for, Audra. So Simone is basically like, girl, let's go. We done. You see Heavenly shut that shit down. Heavenly basically, no. That's a grown woman. No, y'all not going nowhere. Basically, Heavenly said, bitch, we know the shit about to go down. So she sent her ass here. You know, I love it and shit like that's the type of shit like, no, Simone, you go. Toya stand. Because I know the shit about to go down. We got to get this scene. Okay? That's why we all came in. That's exactly why we all came in this living room. Because we know some shit about to go down. So if you want to leave Simone, you leave. Toya, you sit your ass here. Okay? So I don't even think that Toya was talking to Anila. And then Anila hops in to the conversation. And Toya like, girl, I'm not even talking to y'all. And then, girl, Baby D. Girl, Baby D, Toya's homegirl, hop up, was about to flip Quad's house upside down. I said, ooh, girl, y'all better get Baby D. Because, baby, now I'm not going to lie, Anila, she was talking like she wasn't scared. Now, she probably was talking that because, girl, she know no one going to happen. But, girl, Baby D would have broke you in half, Anila, you and your home, girl, and then walked off with that Hermes. Okay? So, watch your mouth, Anila. You know better. I didn't like this is what I didn't like when Anila did this. Again, here I go. You know, I didn't like when Carrie I ain't like Carrie, that white woman about to hand that black man her coat. Don't know why that bothered me. And I did not like when Anila basically told Toya, you fucked up the neighborhood. I didn't like that, y'all. I didn't like it. Because it's like, I don't know. I just didn't like, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I didn't like it because it's like, here go the non-black person telling the black person that you fucked up the neighborhood. Anila? Because one thing y'all need to remember, people of color does not mean black. Hell, sometimes black don't mean black. Okay. Because we got a lot of blacks out there like this and not black like this. What they say, all skin folk ain't kin folk. So we know. But Anila, you a person of color, you ain't black. So watch what the fuck you say. I'm gonna let it slide this time. But my good eyes on you, Miss Anila. And you fucked up the neighborhood. Bitch, you just got in the neighborhood. Quiet as it's kept, regardless of Toya moved around the corner. Now, I thought Toya was in the neighborhood before you. You got over, basically, I guess, whatever friendship she had with the girl. I holler when Toya said, girl, she was just a neighbor. I'm sorry. I don't like the way I felt like they was really trying to start a fight with Toya. They really were. You could tell. It was so obvious. I really don't like stuff like that. That's the quickest way for me to probably even start liking you or start caring about what you got going on in the show. Let me see you getting bullied. And I feel like that's what, and again, I'm not saying that Toya is innocent because she is not. Toya makes, comments. She does shit. She not the brightest. But I just felt like in this, it's kind of like, girl, Audra, girl, you coming after Toya because, girl, clearly, she's the easiest target. You're not going to come after Heavenly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to come on the show and try to shake some shit up, go after the bitch who really going to give you a tussle. I respect the girls more when you go after the big girl. Not the big girl. Not like the big dog of the show. You know what I'm saying? No, come on. It's kind of like, girl, Diana coming on the show going after Sutton. Girl, you going after Sutton? I would have appreciated you more if you went after Kyle and Mauricio. If you gonna shake the table, bitch, shake the table. You see what I'm saying? Go after Erica Jane. Go after Dorit. You gonna go after Sutton? Audrey, you going after Toya? Okay. Anila, you going after Toya? I thought y'all was cool. I don't know, child. Heavenly Tales, this review is getting too long. I'm hungry. What time is it? I'm about to go, y'all. It's 9:24. I'm gonna walk around to this taco truck and get me some tacos. That's my problem. So Anila says, so Heavenly basically, Heavenly basically said, listen, they said that you're sleeping with your neighbor. They say you sleeping with some man in the hood. Toya said, who said that? She said, listen, I'm not saying it, I'm just telling you what's out there. So Toya, bitch, Toya said, which one of you bitches said it? I'll take my shoe off and put it in your fucking face. I said, oh shit. Now everybody want to get quiet. Now everybody, no. Anila, you and your homegirl, that noise y'all was just making 5 seconds ago, I need y'all to keep making that noise. Because Toya just said she about to take her stiletto off and put it in your goddamn skull. So I need somebody to answer. Because all that mouth you had 5 minutes ago, Anila, I need you to have that same mouth. Hello? Toya asked y'all a question. All right. That was it. I'll talk to y'all girls next week. Bye, y'all.